So what does this internal allowing really look like, so that we can then not be at the mercy of the external world around us all the time?
Right.
If this allowing can occur within all of those different situations that we're in,
Right.
and we can understand the struggle within us,
Yeah.
what does that feel like, and what does that look like?
Okay. First of all, we're helping the people to connect with that source of allowing, so that you find it within yourself in a very simple way by just sensing. You sense a movement, and that's your breath. And you're offering yourself now. We can do it again. We've done it to allow the breath to come and go on its own, so that you have a reference of reality to and a sense of what allowing is. That it's not just a concept or a vision or an idea or a feeling, a reality of allowing. That's needed. Once you have that, once you feel like, yes, I can sense to some extent, I can let that happen. Sometimes I'm getting involved, pull and push. You also learn to not judge that, to not say, okay, that's bad and the other is good, but more and more come to a place where you can be there and start to be with that movement that comes and goes on its own. Once you have learned that, maybe in an environment that is a little less invasive, like what's out there, then you take it out and you make sure that you stay in that state of allowing. Typically, when something from the outside comes that is bothering, we're starting to hold our breath, brace ourselves, push and pull, or start to take these manipulated breaths. That makes the situation even worse, and that puts us under pressure and in a cage, and lets ourself become literally invaded, right? Because we can't live ourselves anymore. So what we're practicing is, as these things are happening, let's say you're in a situation where something unpleasant happens on the outside, and instead of holding or regulating your breath, you're continuing to allow your breath. Your breath may speed up or slow down or does all kinds of things in order to keep your oneness in balance. And with that, decisions happen that are rooted in that state and come out of a situation of your oneness that realizes what actually needs to happen in response to this. If we manipulate our breath, we take what we know intellectually and respond from there, run away or maybe attack or whatever, and that's not always the best thing to do. So this is a rule of thumb, or a basic rule in all situations, to not compromise your allowing of the breath. Of course, as I mentioned in the beginning, first you have a reference of it, and that reference needs to be real, and not just the projection of an idea or a concept. So this is why we're here, and that's what we're offering people, to come and experience that, so that they can live their true life in a world that may not be in balance. And that is what it is, and we can still, and even more so, with the allowing of the breath, live our lives in spite of all the things that are happening around ourselves.
Well, on that same vein, if you don't mind, how does this tightening or holding differ from the natural biological response of, our ancestors in frightful situations? Because would that breath have helped them then to deal with the situation, that either the adrenaline, or how does that differ? How do we know if we're manipulating, and how do we know when it's just a natural biological response to fear or stressful situation.
Okay, so basically what you're saying, in a situation of fear, you're holding the breath.
Right.
You're naturally holding the breath. Is that what you're saying?
I'm thinking about, Neanderthal man having to outrun or battle against a very large animal. And so I know that we have biological holdovers from that time. And I'm wondering how natural that is. Or is it just a manipulated way of breathing now because we don't have those same actual...
These patterns, the patterns of holding or the patterns of fear, have developed over thousands of years.
Right.
And initially, I'm convinced that the human nature was meeting that big animal with an allowed breath.
Okay.
Knowing that this is the only way you can meet this this challenger, this attack. The holding of the breath has always something to do with manipulation. At the moment the animal attacks me and I say, I want to be stronger than, I'm starting to manipulate. If the animal attacks me and I'm saying, okay, let's see, and I stay in these forces, I keep my breath is in an allowed state, and I have the forces available that help me to meet this situation. I don't know if that animal may eat me or kill me. That I don't know, but it will kill me anyway, or faster if I manipulate my breath, much faster. So I'm just saying this.
Okay.
This is a little, it's probably a little more complex, but the basic principle is, I'm convinced that initially the human nature is meant to be truthful, and in that allowed state of what we really are. We just have lost it and we stumbled over all kinds of situations in our evolution of growing, over thousands and millions of years.
Yeah.
I find it interesting. Since starting the breath classes, I'm just happier all around in everything I do.
Yeah.
I used to really butt heads with one of my best friends, and since doing the breath work, I don't get nearly as annoyed. It's okay, it's interesting that it changes your life and everything you do.
Yeah. This is a wonderful example. When we collide in a partnership, typically we're expecting the other to respond in a particular way because we're adapting or synchronizing our breath rhythms. Then we expect from the other to be in a certain way that we feel better. If I allow my breath to just be, I don't need that. I can let the other be. And this is one of the basic principles of relationship. If people realize that, or when people realize that, life becomes easy and you're much happier.
It's true.
And you also start to respect difference. In partnership, you're not looking for the same, but you're being inspired by difference.
I agree with you, absolutely, and I've only been to one class. I cannot believe, and the session with you, it has been transformative in just such a short amount of time that I do feel a difference. I really do.
Yes.
I feel like a certain serenity that...
Yeah, it's wonderful, and it comes out of you. It's not, from the outside. It's not from the teacher. You find it. I'm here to help you find this, and each one of you finds it differently. You differently. You. So, and this is what I have learned or though that's built through my experience to recognize where are the doors for these individuals where they can find that source within themselves. And once you've found it, you don't need, to go and look after teachers from the outside too much, and you just select them, use them. Most of all, your most precious teacher is in yourself. Yeah.